We've got new champions, former champions, and stripped champions. Unfortunately, when I heard Sasha Banks and stripped in the same sentence, I thought she was getting stripped of her clothes, but don't get too excited. She's just been stripped of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your WWE Smackdown review from the 20th of May 2022. This was billed as one of the biggest SmackDowns of all time. It certainly didn't feel that way, even though they did have a big main event. I'm not going to deny that. The main event felt big. Did it deliver? Did it live up to expectations? Honestly, I'm not too sure. We'll start from the beginning. We'll work our way to the end. Hopefully we don't fall asleep by the time we get there, and we'll see whether or not this SmackDown show was any good. But before I get into what happened first, I just want to say the SmackDown roster, in my opinion, it needs updated. There's always like a lack of wrestlers, a lack of stars on the show. Always seems to be absences. The roster just isn't big enough. Ever since they did the brand split, they did the draft, they did seem to like shaft SmackDown. They moved Edge to Raw, they moved Seth Rollins to Raw. I'm sure there's more that I just can't think of. But I look at SmackDown and there's not many people there that you think can challenge Reigns. There's pretty much nobody there that can challenge Ronda Rousey. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, not on the show tonight. Drew McIntyre, not on the show tonight. Why are these people not there? Their absences weren't even explained. So, I mean, we've got Roman Reigns, who never wrestles or never defends his titles. And then we have Ronda Rousey, who's the champion, but wasn't there tonight. And then we have the tag team champions, Sasha Banks and Naomi, who got stripped of the belts. So, I mean, come on, where the fuck are all the champions? Like, what is this? If they don't have enough people, then just end the brand split or do something. Call up people from NXT. I don't know, but SmackDown is stale. And it's a shame, because a year ago, SmackDown was easily the best show on TV. But now, in my opinion, it's arguably one of the worst. Probably the worst WWE show, to be fair. It's not better than NXT 2.0, and I feel like Raw probably has more standout moments than SmackDown. But we kicked off the show with the Bloodline. It's the same thing. If you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. They take about 15 minutes to get to the ring. Slow, ponderous walk. Roman Reigns' theme plays. God mode. Blah, blah, blah. Get in the ring. Acknowledge me. Wise man, this, that. Wise man, that. I mean, come on. Paul Heyman explains the title match tonight. Then he goes through a list of people that couldn't beat Roman Reigns if they were all stacked up together. Bruno Sammartino, Hogan, Austin, Dwayne Johnson, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. And I mean, I don't really know much about Bruno because I didn't see that era of wrestling. But I mean, everyone else he named is like 10, 15, 20 times superior to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns personally bores the tits off of me. So there you go. I mean, I don't want to see Roman Reigns get the belt off this guy. Why is he holding two belts hostage? Jesus Christ, was the Universal title not enough? And now he's holding the Raw title. And then when you watch Raw, there's no champion for the Raw guys to go after, which just, takes away from the show. But anyway, it was a promo to just basically say that, we've got a tag team unification match tonight. But we knew that anyway, so what was the point? Then we have Sami Zayn representing the Bloodline, apparently, taking on Nakamura. Last week, Nakamura said if Roman Reigns is the head of the table, then then Sami Zayn is the ass. I mean, that was pretty funny. Nakamura beats Sami Zayn. Are they going to do Nakamura versus Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell? It doesn't look like it. Apparently Roman Reigns isn't going to have a championship match at Hell in a Cell because A, Hell in a Cell apparently is not a big enough pay-per-view, and B, there is supposedly nobody worthy of challenging him. So, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what is this? I mean, back in the day, there would be title matches at every pay-per-view. Now Roman Reigns can't be bothered defending the belt. Happy Corbin came out next. He spoke about how he's the happiest he's ever been because he got rid of Madcap Moss, and then he destroyed the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy. I mean, it was alright. I mean, who cares? He spoke about how he's wearing a $70,000 suit, a $70,000 watch, and a $10,000 hat. And if that hat cost $10,000, then Happy Corbin got fucking ripped off, and he has got no right to be happy after paying $10,000 for that. We then moved on to Drew Gulak versus Gunther. Gunther beat Drew Gulak. What a surprise. Then after the match, he puts him in a Boston Crab, single leg Boston Crab. Ricochet comes out, and Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser make the great escape, so they don't want no part of Ricochet. I mean, why not just put the belt on Gunther? Yeah, fuck it, take the belt off Ricochet. The guy's a bum. The guy's doing absolutely nothing. Then we had LA Knight, or at least formerly known as LA Knight. I think he's calling himself Rene Dupree, something Dupree. It sounded like Rene Dupree. I thought the Frenchman was back, but no, it's LA Knight with a new name, and he's got a new modelling contact. He's the management of a male modelling agency. What kind of gay shit's this? Why can't we see a female modelling industry? Why can't we see something like that? Hot fucking chicks wear not much clothes, but no, he's got a male model thing. I mean, who cares? I mean, I like LA Knight, but is this really the best they have for him? I mean, I'll give it a chance because we haven't seen much of it. We don't know where it's going, but I just don't think the gimmick's really that good. We had Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez have a wee confrontation backstage. They then had a match. Raquel Gonzalez beat Shotzi Blackheart again. No surprise there. I mean, Ronda Rousey wasn't here tonight, but even if she was, you look at this women's division and there's just nobody that you could take as a legitimate contender, a viable threat. I mean, I thought maybe Raquel Rodriguez, but she's already lost to Ronda clean, so where does she go from that? We then had Xavier Woods say that he's ready to take on Butch tonight, and it felt like we've seen the combination of matches between the New Day and Sheamus's Fight Club is unreal. I mean, every single week we're getting these two going 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or some mix up one or the other, and it's just too much. It needs to end. I do not want to see Woods versus Butch. I don't want to see Kofi versus Ridge Holland. I don't want to see Sheamus versus Kofi. I don't want to see Woods versus Sheamus. I don't want to see none of this. I don't want to see any of them. I just want to see them move the fuck on. And hopefully we can move on as well. Then Butch lost, but after the match, the three of them beat down Xavier Woods. Kofi wasn't here tonight. His absence wasn't explained either. So yeah, Fight Club just beat down Xavier Woods 3-on-1. That was pretty much that. And then it was on to the WWE Tag Team Title Unification match. And the tag team match itself wasn't bad. Went back and forth. Riddle got an injury. A doctor had to come out check on him. Pretty sure it was a kayfabe injury. Towards the end of the match, you got Riddle and Jimmy Uso on the top rope. I think it's Jimmy. I'll be honest, I don't know the difference between Jimmy and Jay, and to be fair, I don't really care. So, yeah. I mean, it was one of the Usos. They're on the top rope. Riddle's trying to go for a super RKO, but he can't do it. For some reason, he can't get any lift. He cannot jump off the top turnbuckle, and that's because Roman Reigns is there. Roman Reigns has appeared from nowhere. He's holding on to one of the Usos' foot, so Riddle cannot do the RKO off the top rope. Riddle then gets pushed off the top rope to the floor, and then Jimmy Uso hits a big splash, frog splash, into Riddle in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Now you've got the new Raw Tag Team Champions and new Unified Tag Team Champions. So, I mean, what's going to happen? Are the Usos just going to walk around with both belts, or are they actually going to legit unify both belts and now we're just going to have one set of tag belts? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but regardless, the Usos are the new champs. They celebrate in the ring. Then they beat down Orton and Riddle. I mean, you're kind of expecting Drew McIntyre to make a save, but again, he wasn't here tonight, so that's not going to happen. No explanation why Drew wasn't here, but I think he was doing some promo work for the Castle pay-per-view, but I mean, do that. Surely you would do that at a different time. Why would you be doing that so that you miss Friday Night SmackDown? I mean, if you do that, I mean, McIntyre wasn't on Raw, so he had, he's had so long to actually do. He could have flew to the UK and done promotional work. I mean, he didn't have to miss tonight, but whatever, he did miss tonight. The Usos placed Riddle on the announce table. McAfee and Cole are screaming, "Don't do it, don't do it!" And one of the Usos jumps off the top rope to the outside, through the announce table. Riddle goes through the table. There were some kids in the arena looking upset as if Riddle was dead. Don't worry, guys, he ain't dead. Have you not seen Mick Foley? Have you not seen the punishment a human body can take? Don't worry, Riddle will be okay. Then the Bloodline celebrate in the ring, and that was pretty much it. But before the main event, Michael Cole did make an announcement that both Sasha Banks and Naomi have been suspended. They've been stripped of the titles, and there will be a new women's tag team tournament to crown new champions. Good luck with that shit. I mean, you've barely got fucking 2 challengers to face Ronda Rousey, never mind a bunch of women to stick together in fake tag teams for a tag team title tournament. So, I mean, good luck booking that. But that's it, guys. That's your SmackDown. That was not a great show. I mean, it was billed as one of the biggest SmackDowns of all time, one of the biggest main events of all time. Certainly, it didn't deliver for me. I mean, I like LA Knight, but I'm just not sure about this whole gimmick, and it's the same faces you see week in, week out. But the show, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. You know, I am going to give it a 2. I'm not going to give any more than that. I mean, there was a lack of segments, really. Or should I say a lack of good segments. I thought the show was, it was match heavy. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. It wasn't for me. So SmackDown gets a 2 out of 10. Let us know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, we've got new Unified Tag Team Champions, and it's the Bloodline. The Bloodline's got all the belts. Fuck me, they're holding every single title hostage. Apart from the 24/7 title, because that's pish. Nobody wants that. Maybe they could stick that round Heyman's fat waist if the belt will fit. Who knows? Till next time, though. Peace.